Good morning. So this is today's light rope, daily transformation for the bold. And if I sound funny, it's because I'm sick. And a good thing it's not contagious through video. I've been started on Saturday and got bad Sunday and yesterday, and last night was awful. So I'm hoping that the worst is past. Anyway, today I want you to focus on a fundamental truth. Now, lots of people say that love is the most powerful force in the world, and some disagree. Some think that anger and hate is more powerful. And recently in the elections in the U.S., there was a bunch of marches afterwards to talk about love being more powerful than hate. And of course, they used the word Trump because he got elected. Love trumps hate. And the truth is, it does. Love is more powerful than hate. One of the things I struggled with as a depressive is the feeling because I was not good enough that I was not loved. That nobody really cared or gave a crap about me in any way, shape, or form. That I sucked, and therefore nothing mattered. That the only real and true answer, everything was all excuses, and the only real and true answer was to stare in the mirror and point all the fingers at me and scream, you are worthless, you die, you are zero. And, in my depressed state, I can't say if this was true or not, but I had the feeling often when relationships and things were failing around me that there was a strong encouragement, particularly on the part of one gal I was married to commit suicide, to kill myself. I mean, she would say things like, I'd love to wake up in a world without you, and things like that. And so that drove that feeling home hard. And her mom committed suicide, and she never actually got over that. She was terribly riddled with abandonment issues all of her life, and it was evident in our failed relationship. But I was no healthier, so I'm not saying anything like that. But today I don't want to talk about the sad side because convincing yourself that you are not loved and that you're not worth anything and that you're not worthy of love is the fastest way to die. You die emotionally, and eventually you kill yourself physically, probably. I died emotionally several times as I went through those cycles that those of you that are depressives are familiar with. So today I want to talk about a truth, a foundational, fundamental truth that contradicts all that, and that is you are loved. You are loved. And you can argue about that, you can say nobody cares and so forth, but it is simply not true. Now, I don't know what your religious persuasion or your spiritual experience or anything is, but I have yet to meet the person who, when it comes right down to it, doesn't pray, doesn't yearn, doesn't reach out toward a divine and supreme consciousness or being, a God. Whatever you call this person, whatever you call him. God loves you. He put you here for a reason, and it wasn't to abandon you. We abandon ourselves, and I know I sure did, a lot more than he ever abandons us. We give up on ourselves before he does. Other people give up on us, and we consign ourselves to misery and pain that are not his will or doing. And one of the interesting things, if you read in the Bible and in other sacred literature, it seems like there was a war in heaven of some kind. It says that Michael cast down the dragon, became the devil, and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like the war was about one principle. It seems like the war was about the principle of choice, the right to choose. And it seems like the guy that eventually became the devil, his side was to take away that and force everyone to live a certain way. And that God's plan, and involved, Jesus and all that jazz, is to preserve the principle of choice. So let's say that's true for a moment, and then go back to the feeling that we have sometimes that God has abandoned us and we're not loved. I know that for me, that has always been my choice. I choose to see it that way. And when I choose something different, I choose to look for and find love from God. I find it. So, and unassailable, incontrovertible truth that is more powerful and more certain than gravity or other laws of physics is that God loves you. So you are loved. Let's go beyond that. I have also yet to work with anyone who cannot name someone else that loves them. I have worked with homeless people, and I have worked with folks that have lost everything, and I have worked in lots of situations with people that are got severe addictions to drugs, and as you know, I had some of those myself. So there are others who love you as well. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that. You know that when you hurt, or if you died, or if you were gone, there would be those who would be sad. That list may be really short, but the statement, I am loved, is true. And I encourage you today to live in the joy of that statement, because really it has nothing to do with you. You can't choose to be unloved. And that's the neat part about it. God loves me whether I admit it or not, whether I want it or not, he does. Other people love me. They do. And they love you too. That's a powerful thought. And you can do all that you want to try to undo that, but it's true. Now, the one last piece I want you to think about is you don't control who loves you. You might wish with all your heart that a certain person or group of people loved you, and they may not. I know this because I've spent a lot of fruitless and painful hours wishing, wanting certain people to love me and care about me, and to try to do things to make that happen. And you can't. You can't do that. And finally coming to peace with that, people are going to love you of their own will. That is their business. That is their choice. That is their decision to love or to not love. And spending a bunch of time trying to convince someone or begging someone or behaving a certain way so they will, or in my case, letting yourself be trampled on and doing anything so you'll, so this person or people will give me the time of day, and it does nothing but destroy you further. Because if they don't already love you, then they also delight in the pain they inflict by withholding that love. And that's the sad part. They may love you at a different time. It may be members of your own family, particularly if you've had struggles and so forth. I'm familiar with that. They may not love you. They may never love you. They may never forgive you or any of that stuff. But here's the key. You don't control that. And so all of the effort and energy and bleeding and yearning that you spend toward that is wasted. It is wasted time and wasted energy. Better spend your effort in developing your love for others and enjoying those who do love you of their own accord. So you are loved. Enjoy that love. Spread that love. And don't spend any time trying to create love in someone who does not feel it. We'll see you tomorrow.